Under the Health and Wellbeing Act 2008, my understanding is that police do not have authority unless there is an appointed authorised officer with them. Now, appointed and authorised means they must show an identity card issued to them, which contains a photo of the health officer, a signature of the health officer, and a signature of the secretary. So if a health officer comes in with the assistance of a police officer and they start throwing their weight around and saying, you have to do this, you have to do that, the business owner should be asking to see that identification before they even engage. That's question number one. Do they have the right to ask to see the identification of the health officer? And number two, if the police are coming in and they don't have that appropriate power from the secretary as a health officer or are accompanied by a health officer, do the police actually have any jurisdiction at all?
So this, you can ask any question that is reasonable of a police officer. That includes to ask them to prove their authority in the matter. I don't know the specifics of this. I haven't taken any notes on this, but in some instances, I have read legislation where their lack of identity does not remove their power, but it would be fairly easy to check if you just went into the Health and Wellbeing Act or the Pandemic Act and looked that up. But I can give that to you later. I can do a proper search so that we can add something onto the end of this. But if they should try all means, and if they cannot provide it, they would want to be absolutely sure that they can get away with it being. I can't give an exact answer on that, but it does go both ways. I know in some instances they have to provide stuff if they're going to be enforcing things. Actually, from some of the video, I do remember seeing some people going, walking through some restricted areas. They did have to provide the information. One of the officers was saying, I'll email it through to you later. And the person was saying, that's not good enough. I need to see it now. Wow. And then they literally let them go and then they moved on.
And this is why
that was a while ago.
Right. And this is why, folks, I'm feeling so confident because I didn't actually prep my volunteer right now with this question. He is very knowledgeable and he reads a lot. But speaking with the other volunteer earlier today, her understanding from extensive reading of this legislation, her understanding is that police cannot check patron status. You know how the police would come into different restaurants or cafes and wander around and say, I have to check if you've got your vaccine status or not. Her understanding is that they cannot check patron status if they don't have the correct ID themselves, i.e. Health officer material. And then if they don't have that you can actually ask them to leave. So we'll definitely have another look into that. But the point is again, it's all about being reasonable and being able to question the legislative powers that have been enforced as to, are they actually enforceable, federal versus state? Are they reasonable? And am I in a position as a business owner to have to actually enforce them?